Dame Lillard is not going to Miami. He's not going to the Raptors, but he is going to play with Giannis.
Going to play with Giannis in Middleton, and it's a great move for him going into that market. Again, he's a phenomenal player, and actually he's a good friend of mine, and I'm very happy for him that he's got the opportunity now to win an NBA championship.
What's your relationship? When did you meet him?
I've been knowing Dame for a while. He's a huge boxing fan,
yeah.
And actually we're very, very cool.
So what do you think he thinks of – because we got so many weird reports that it was like Dame is Miami or bust, and Camp Dame is not going to be happy unless they go exactly where they want. I would assume he's cool going with Giannis, and this is a real chance to win a championship.
Of course. You get a chance to play with a guy like him, and Middleton is a very good player himself. So I think that they're going to be the team to beat in the East. The Celtics, are very good too, but Milwaukee is going to
right.
They got Dame Dollar. That's all I can say is that, and they're my favorite to win the whole thing.
Okay, boy, I wish we knew yesterday. They were 7-1. The Bucks were to win the title yesterday.
Wow.
A couple of minutes ago, reposted. Now they're plus 350. So they got chopped in half to win the title. Maybe not as much value at 350. Obviously not at 7-1.
Yeah, it's good stuff though. It's good. I like to see this kind of movement, and kind of shake things up a little bit.
What do you think is going to happen with the Warriors with Chris Paul?
I think it's a good fit because obviously he's a veteran coming to a team that already has a lot of experience, some great players, and I think he'll mesh in very well. I really do.
Let's switch to boxing. So do you know I know officially you're not kind of rolled into the promotion here. You're helping out, pitching the fight, which we appreciate you coming in, and we got Leonard Ellerbe in studio with us. Do you have any access to the celebrity list? I would think that this would be a pretty big celeb list.
And it is. Obviously, Canelo's been a fixture in these high-level fights for a number of years. And, he has quite a few that come out to his fights. But Jermell, all of Texas is standing with him. All of Texas is standing with him. So that's going – I know quite a few football players and some basketball players are coming out. It's going to be a great night for the fans.
I don't think Lil Wayne's ever going to leave.
Yeah,
he's
right,
like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, he's here for the Raider game.
Yep.
And yeah.
Do you go to the Raider games on a regular basis? Or?
Actually, I went for the first time Sunday.
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, not the greatest example of a voracious Raiders crowd.
So it was a cool experience.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stadium.
Going back. Oh, my God. State of the art.
This might be something only myself and a few others in the media know about. How close were you guys to having a Floyd fight at Allegiant last year?
I ain't gonna say close, but Floyd has the ability to move the needle, as we say, in anything that he kind of does, especially if it's something that the fans are really interested in. But who knows? Who knows what might happen in the future?
Let's put aside Floyd, do you see anyone right now who could do a fight in a 65,000-seat football stadium in boxing?
Tank Davis.
Yeah, you think?
Tank Davis.
Now or in the future?
He could do it. He could do it now.
Yeah.
He could do it now.
All right. I want to talk about Tank in a little bit because I want to get the pound for pound. But let's talk about this fight. And Leonard Ellerbe is with us here in Cofield&Co. So Canelo and Charlo. Pay-per-view's going down 5 o'clock our time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Showtime pay-per-view. So you have experience going way back with Canelo, and he got his first loss. And I think at the time it was a veteran, one of the greatest fighters, the greatest as you call him, in history. And he kind of schooled Canelo. What have you seen from Canelo as a fighter now over the last 10 years?
He's really improved in actually every area. He's gained the invaluable experience that it takes to be an elite fighter and to be consistent. He is fighting a competitor this Saturday night in Jermell Charlo, where I don't think that he can relax at any point. Mel is much better than the likes of John Ryder and some of the other opponents that he's faced recently, and not taking anything away from his resume, because when you look at his resume, he has the best resume currently of any active fighter. So, again, and it's just going to be a tremendous matchup because both guys have a chip on their shoulder, and they're looking to prove something. Not that they have to prove it, but they're looking to prove something. Jermell is of the mindset that, you know, he's embraced the underdog role, but he's like, you know, I'm much better than y'all got me labeled here. It's like, I know he's accomplished this and this, meaning Canelo, but I'm that guy. And Canelo's like, you doubted my skills. I'm going to show you come Saturday night. I'm going to make you believe. I'm going to make you. He's going to show. That's what he said today at the press conference. So, again, you got these two guys coming together, undisputed versus undisputed. I'm really, really excited because it's going to be a great, great fight.
Does Canelo overall still have a chip on his shoulder, stuff to prove? Does he still have that, hey, me against the world energy?
Yes, he does. Yeah, yes, he does. I mean, because, you know, there have been some lots of criticism that he's faced in recent fights. You know, coming off the Bivol loss and you know, the Ryder performance wasn't his best. So again, he's looking Saturday night to come out and make a big statement. But Jermell is also, you know. So this is going to be a great fight.
Have you looked at it from Jermell's point of view, where some people are saying that this would be a win-win for him? You know, if he goes out there and have a good performance, win or loss, it's a win for him to be on this big of a stage. Do you agree with that mindset, or does he need to go out there and still get that win?
No, man. These guys, they are not thinking nothing but other than having their hands raised on both guys on Saturday night. And both of them have a plan, you know, to do that. Well, we're going to find out Saturday night whose plan is the better plan.
All right, so when you mentioned Canelo as well, do you think that he has more to prove in this fight to me? Because I'm not saying that it's a win-win for Jermell just to be in this fight with Canelo, but to me, all the pressure's on Canelo in this fight.
I agree. All the pressure is on him. But he takes that in stride. He welcomes that because he has the experience. And he knows that in his mind that he feels though he's going to impose his will on Jermell come Saturday night. We're going to have to see if he's able to do that. You know, some say there's been some slippage. Canelo says that he's been injured in recent fights, and that's why he hadn't been able to perform at the level that he had been performing at. And we're gonna Saturday night. We're gonna see what it is.
You mentioned that slippage did have a hand injury. Canelo did. How healthy do you think he is? I know that he says that he's back healthy, but do you believe that he's 100% coming into this fight?
Of course I do. I mean, you got to take him at his word. Okay. I mean, because he's the only one that got to get up in there and get it done.
So this is the threshold, I believe, that every great champion comes to, where he's 33. He's got the satin sheets. He's probably got some Lambos. You have experience with this, right? And yes, I think that is one of the best things we can say about Floyd. With all the wins, I don't think he ever got lazy. All the money, all the adulation, he never got lazy. And not every fighter can do that when they're 33, 34, 35. Is Canelo, still good on that front where he's so, filthy rich and famous, where he still has the drive, man? It ends for everybody at some point, Leonard.
Yeah, that's a great point. And actually, I kind of talked about that briefly yesterday. Here is a guy that's made several $100 million already. But he's motivated. When you look at how hard he's working in training camp, and you see the determination and the confidence in when he speaks on what he says that he's going to impose his will on Charlo Saturday night, you got to kind of take him at face value for what he's saying. And it's up to Jermell to prove him wrong. So, come Saturday night, they're going to butt heads, and the best is going to win.
It's another massive Canelo fight here in Vegas against Jermell Charlo. 5 o'clock with the pay-per-view. We're going to get to the undercard in a couple minutes. Leonard Ellerbe's up with Cofield and Dmon here on this Wednesday. I did notice something you also mentioned. I hadn't heard this before. I was talking about, hey, you're rich, distractions happen. Canelo's a golfer?
Yes, he is.
Is he pretty good?
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
What was? I guess basketball would have been Floyd's distraction sport, right? Of all the sports.
Yeah, basketball. He loves playing basketball. I mean, actually, he's pretty good in a lot of sports, but basketball is
Like
something.
what else would surprise people about Floyd? Athletically,
Football, yeah, he's just an athletic specimen. I mean, he can do it all. He's very good at a number of things. So but that's what the great ones are able to do.
No doubt. What do you think the long range goal is for Canelo? I did hear you mention that Floyd's got a record of beating former world champions or world champions at the time.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think? Is that a goal for Canelo? Because I think, what is it, like 23 to 18?
Yeah,
like
I haven't heard him personally say it. It's just, when you just you look at what history says. So I'm sure at some point he has an awareness of that. Now, that's going to be tough to do because, he would have to get past Charlo, and then he would have to face 4 more world champions.
And then he's either coming down, which is miserable when you're older, or he's going up, which when he's tried to go up, sometimes it's been okay, sometimes it hasn't.
I'm not saying that it can't be done, but it's going to be tough. So, but that's something that is attainable.
Yeah.
It's not something that's, out of his reach. So again, I think there are a number of things that he's kind of motivated about, but he's, like he said in the press conference, he's heard the chatter about some of the things that Jermell has said, and so as we get closer to the fight, I think both guys are, they realize what's at stake, and obviously Canelo's been fighting at this level for quite some time, so you can really just see how this bout is going to shape up. It's going to be very intense from the opening bell.
Can you give us like 10 more? Couple more minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Leonard Ellerbe is going to stick around. Pay-per-view goes down on Saturday. It's a 5 o'clock start to the pay-per-view. We'll get to the undercard because the undercard, we had Al Bernstein on yesterday, and Al was saying that the undercard's freaking stacked. So Showtime pay-per-view, get all the information, make sure you buy it, don't have any struggles, get in the fight on fight night. We're going to come back with Leonard in just a couple minutes. It's Cofield, it's Dmon here on Cofield and Company, ESPN Las Vegas.